Okay, this is for page 109. This is going to be problems number 2 through 4 in one video. I'm not going to do problem number 1 because it's already been answered for you and they give an explanation. So picking up with number 2, Randy threw a dart at a dartboard 50 times. The table shows the results. So out of 50 dart throws, which I can put right here, 50 as my total number of attempts, how many actually scored? Because it says here, according to these results, if Randy throws one dart, what is the probability he will score over 20 points? Well, it says that 6 throws were over 20 points. But it also says between 11 and 20 points, there were 18 dart throws that met that criteria. But the key phrase here is, what's the probability he will score over 20 points? So we can only look at the row that says over 20 points. And that would be 6 out of 50. Now, I could just divide 50 into 6 because I'm looking at the answer choices and I don't see any fractions. I don't see any percents. I only see decimals, which tells me I need to divide. So I can reduce this first. And let's just say we know that 2 can go into both of these numbers. 2 can go into 6 3 times, and 2 can go into 50 25 times. Now let's divide. I'm going to set up my problem like this and bring my decimal point up. How many times can 25 go into 30 without going over? 1 time. 1 times 25 is 25. 30 minus 25 is 5. Bring down my 0. How many times can 25 go into 50? Oh, that's easy. 25 times 2 is 50. I just think about quarters. How many quarters are there in 50 cents? 2 quarters. So 2 times 25 is 50. And we're done. So my answer is 0.12, which is really the same thing as 12%. Okay, moving on to question number 3. 25 people watched a movie and rated it on a scale of 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. The table shows how many people gave the movie each rating. Okay, I can see that let me just record now that there were 25 people that cast a vote. So that's going to be my total number of votes. Now, how many people voted for one particular movie or particular rating is what I'm going to find out now. According to this data, what is the probability someone will give this movie a rating of 3 or less? Okay, so if we have ratings and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I know that 3 or less, I have to include 3, I have to include 2, and I have to include 1. And if I look over to the column right next to it for the number of people, it says 6 people gave it a 1, nobody gave it a 2, and 4 people gave it a rating of 3. So let me just add these up. 6 plus 0 plus 4, 6 plus 0 plus 4 gives me 10. So really, 10 out of 25 people that watched the movie gave it a rating of 3 or less. Now, 10 over 25 isn't one of your answers. So what do you need to do? You got to reduce. And I'm not going to give you the answer. You can figure that one out. Okay. And the last one. The table shows the numbers and types of birds Pamela saw on a bird watching trip. So we have the oriole, the bluebird, cardinal, wren, and a hawk. According to the table, if Pamela sees one bird, what is the probability it will be an oriole? Well, that's easy to see. Again, let's put the number as denominator first. What's the total number of birds that were seen? Total number was, they don't tell us what that number is. So I guess I'm going to have to add that up. So let me just construct this chart. We have the oriole, bluebird, cardinal, wren, and hawk. Okay, and this is for the number, and this is for the bird or the type. 4 people. I'm sorry, there were 4 Orioles, 10 bluebirds, 3 cardinals, 28 wren, and 5 hawks. So let's add them all together. We've got the 4 and the 10, that's 14, plus the 3, that's 17, plus the 28, that's 45, plus the 5 is, oops, sorry for the camera shift, is 50. Okay, so we've had a total of 50 birds that were seen. According to the table, if Pamela sees one bird, what is the probability it will be an Oriole? So now I'm going to put 50 as my denominator and look at the Orioles. How many Orioles were there? There were 4. So 4 out of 50. Now, are our answers in fraction format? No, they're not in decimal format. They're in percentages. So let's think about a percentage. Look at this compared to 100. What could I do to 50 in order to get to 100? 50 times what would give me 100? 50 times 2. So if I multiply the denominator times 2, whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. So I'd have to do 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 out of 100 is the probability. And 8 out of 100 is 8%. There you have it.